It's time for Talking Pints, and I'm joined by Brian Toomey, who's an Irish lad, so we're going to do it McGuinness. Absolutely. Cheers, welcome
Cheers, Nigel.
to Talking Pints. Now, Brian, you were 23 years old, professional jockey, doing pretty well. You'd had 80 winners, ratio about 1 in 10 rides, something like that. So you were up and coming, talented, doing what you loved, doing what you wanted to do. And then it's Perth, it's July 2013. You're on the favourite. You're on the favourite. Tell us what happens.
Yeah, I was going there, obviously very excited. I was going up to Perth to ride a favourite. Yeah, and things didn't go as planned, really. The horse was out of contention. It was never looked like winning, and unfortunately took a real heavy fall 3 out, and it was lights out for a little bit.
Well, you say lights out. I mean, you know, what actually happened? Did the horse fall on you, or?
The horse fell, and I don't think the horse even fell on top of me. I just, whatever way my head hit the ground at that speed, and obviously being July, the ground would have been quite hard. It would have been quick ground, and whatever way I landed or whatever way I hit my head, I was just very unlucky.
I mean, it's a very dangerous sport anyway, isn't it? Yeah,
it is a very dangerous sport, but I mean, it's a passion. You're getting paid to do your hobby. It's a thrilling job to have, and I was very lucky that I was very happy with the career I was having.
Well, you were in a good place. But I mean, you know, all the reports say that you know, the medics say you were clinically dead for 7 seconds. In fact, there was even a report put out by the British Horse Racing Authority, I understand. The sad news of Brian Toomey's passing. How did all this happen?
Yeah, well, on the day of the injury, like, word had got out how bad it was, and my poor family were rang up in Ireland and told to get over yesterday. You know what I mean? They didn't have long. They didn't have long to say their goodbyes. That it was very, very bad, and obviously they come over to face the worst.
Yeah. What do you remember of it, Brian? Anything?
Not a single thing. I was in hospital for 157 nights, and I don't remember a single thing from there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how bad the damage was, or the state you were in.
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, I've been through a couple of knocks in my time. I've had a plane crash and goodness knows what, but I had a fractured skull, but I've not been through that kind of brain trauma that you've been through. I mean, what's the process to recover?
It's a very, very slow recovery, and it was very difficult because after I had a brain injury, you feel like you can't open up to anyone about it. You feel like no one's going to understand what you're going through, and as a younger lad, obviously I had a lot of pride. I didn't want to let on how much it was affecting me as such, because once my recovery was over, I wanted to get back living a normal life, and I was kind of afraid that if I let on how much it was affecting me, that obviously people close by would have been a little bit cautious of me going forward. So it was a very lonely recovery.
So it's a male pride thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Gosh. So you must have felt quite lonely in a funny way.
Yeah, it was a very lonely recovery, and listen, I was quite a foregoing young lad. I tried to be the life of every party I go to, even the ones that gate crash. But yeah, it was very difficult because from the moment I could get up and walk again, I tried to live life to the full, kind of thing.
Your career, what you set your mind to do, what you worked at, what you travelled for, was kind of gone. You tried to make a comeback, but it was never going to work, was it?
No, I'm surprised I ever got back. I don't know how many doctors I conned in order to get back, because in order to get past fit to ride again, you have to be at no greater risk than every other jockey. So obviously AP McCoy was still riding at the time. I had to be at no greater risk than AP McCoy, but my last fall, I lost consciousness. I had a metal plate in my head, so I feel like that I was I can't believe I ever got back, but I was glad because it was a goal I was working towards, and it was the only thing that kind of kept the drive.
When you look at it, Brian, you know, you were alive, recovering, but you'd lost your career. You'd had an horrendous injury. Did you feel you'd been lucky or unlucky?
I feel like, I mean, I count my blessings every day. I feel very, very lucky. There was a time after the injury when I was a lot younger, I felt very hard done by, but with that all behind me, I'm the luckiest man in the world, to be honest. I can't believe what I've been lucky enough to overcome, and I mean, there's a lot to take from it. It's made me far more determined. I'm far more driven, and yeah, I've been very, very lucky.
Now, you're living in Lambourne, you're still very much in racing world, and I understand you've got a new ambition, a new drive. You want to become a trainer.
Yeah, it's my only goal. I want to become a trainer, and yeah, I've completed my trainer's course maybe 5 years ago, but and I've been striving to achieve that ever since. But it's probably a blessing really that it hasn't happened quickly, because I've had a long time to think about it. I've got many plans in place that I'm ready to put forward when I get the chance, or when I get the opportunity to start. But it's I've been around a lot of people. I've learned off some very good people. Every day is a school day, so you're still learning. So yeah, hopefully in time I'll get started and I can train a horse for you.
Well, you never know. I'm not sure. I'm quite in the income category.
That would make the headlines.
Well, it certainly would. And hey, you've really pushed me on this one. I might have a leg in a horse that you train. And, you know, racing, the Irish connection with racing, of course, is absolutely huge. You know, I was at... in fact, the last Pint of Guinness I had was at Cheltenham earlier on this year. And there are more Irish at Cheltenham than there are English, I think.
I thought I was taking you out of your comfort zone with the Guinness, but...
No, perfectly happy. Don't worry about that. Should young people, young boys, young girls who love horses, love riding, when they look at you, what happened to you, should it put them off?
I don't think so. Listen, it's a passion. It's a very exciting hobby to start, and then if you can have a career out of it, in the end, I feel you're very lucky. I mean, I wouldn't put anyone off it. Yeah, it's very dangerous, but walking across the road is dangerous. Even after the injury, I had to resit my driving test, and I passed, thankfully. But
well
I was told that you have a 25% chance of having a car crash. I mean, so anything in life is dangerous, so I couldn't put anyone off.
And the love for racing, the love for horses, the love for the sport, the love for the industry.
Yeah, it's a very exciting industry to be in. I mean, you're surrounded by a beautiful animal every day. I mean, horses can't talk to you, so it's an opinions game, really. So, good to have got good opinions, I think. But listen, I couldn't put anyone off it. It's top sport.
Well, I've got to tell you, Brian, for a man who was clinically dead, you're doing pretty well.
Not too bad. I think we've both been very lucky, to be fair. And
yes,
even if anyone's seen what you've been through, it would inspire anyone. I think the one thing I would say, if anyone is going through anything like that, the one thing that got me by was having a goal, having that drive to get the life back that I had, or do you know what I mean, for my life to progress. Not
to be a victim.
Exactly. And as I say, I feel very lucky.
Inspiring story. Brian, thank you for joining me.
Thanks very much.
On Talking Pints.